Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll explore how we can extend the REST API. As we saw previously, for custom content types, you can ensure that you have enabled the REST API routes by enabling show in REST, as we did for the movie post type. Check out, then when we register the movie post type, we have passed the arguments for REST API. We have changed the REST base from movie to film, and we are using the default controller, that is, the post controller. The handbook explains how you can add REST API supports for custom post types. If the custom post types is already registered by a third-party plugin but doesn't provide the REST support, you can use a filter, that is register post type args, that allows you to modify the arguments when registering a post type. If you go into the register post type function and look for WP post type object, that in the constructor of this object there is a method set props. And inside the set props, here is the filter that allows you to change the arguments of custom post types registered by third-party plugins. This is all about adding support for custom post types. Apart from this, there is also a schema. Here you'll learn why the schema is important and what are the arguments for the schema. You can pass properties such as title and type and various other primitive types like string, number, integer, which we have seen in the register meta function. The schema provides all the necessary information about the content type, its format, and how to add a schema for different content types. Feel free to explore this section to learn more about schema. There is also a change log, which is very helpful. If you are developing a plugin that is used across different WordPress versions, this change log helps you manage support for older versions. If you use newer functions that aren't available in the older versions, it could break your plugin or cause fatal errors. Next is the controller class. You can also learn about controller classes such as post controllers and terms controllers. This handbook explains the use cases, how these controllers and the available filters, functions, and methods are present in WordPress. Apart from this, there is also routes and endpoints. Routes are paths you call in the API, while endpoint refers to the methods that are get, post, delete, for example, that interact with those routes. Multiple endpoints can exist on the same route supporting different HTTP methods, such as get, put, and delete. For example, in the post controller class, there are multiple endpoints such as readable, editable, and deletable for the same route. For example, for our movie library plugin, we have a post controller with the REST base called film, with creatable and readable endpoints. The readable endpoints allow you to retrieve a list of movies, while creatable endpoints let you create a new movie post or other custom post type. We have already seen how to register routes, but it is important to note that you should not place anything in the WP namespace. This is a key point to remember. Next, we'll go through a function called REST-do-request. Here, in the REST API file inside the WP includes folder, we have a function for REST-do-request. We use this method to make a REST API request within PHP. Here, we have to pass a WP REST request class object. You can create this object and pass it here. During the creation of this object, we have to pass a route. Then it will call REST ensure request, dispatch it, and it will return the response of the data. Now, let me give you an example. In the REST API file, I have registered a function on template redirect action. I have created a new WP REST request object, and the route being our movie library filter movies. I have set the request params with ID with the value of 5, and I'll do the REST do request function and pass in the request object that we created. Let's see how it looks in the front end. If you look at its output, you'll see the two movies that are associated with the person whose post ID is 5. So similarly, you can also make a REST request within PHP instead of making an HTTP API call. There are also other important details to understand, such as the HTTP methods, the callback function, endpoint callbacks, permission callbacks, and how to add a validation and sanitization callbacks. These are essential for working with REST API. Be sure to review the handbook to gain a deeper understanding of how to extend the REST API. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Jai WordPress!